What's up, y'all? Y'all already know we're back with the queer agenda. Today we're covering all the trending news under the rainbow. All right, y'all. We got the LGBT for y'all today. Y'all already know I go by the name of DJ eXeL.
I'll spit the most lit.
And it's your girl, the BADDIE GALORE.
Hey, it's the queer agenda.
Did y'all miss us?
Okay, period.
It's been a
Because we
while.
missed y'all.
Right. It's been a while. How y'all
It's been
feeling?
1 week. Y'all so dramatic. It's been a
So
while.
much
It felt
happening
like
this week, though.
longer.
So much happening this 1 week, though, I feel like.
I know.
Well, that's good. So then we're gonna have some good topics today because I know I had to binge watch a show just to be able to keep up with today. So we can get into it. What's on today's agenda?
So I know y'all been traveling a lot for Pride. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I wasn't sure if y'all had a chance to check out the new season of the Ultimatum, Queer Love. eXeL, you said you binged it. I'm glad. Britt, have you watched any episodes?
I didn't see any episodes, but I've been seeing the highlights, of course, on my feed. Yes.
That's good enough because right now everybody in the queer community is talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So y'all know we have to get into it.
We got
I've been waiting for y'all to come back. I've been waiting for us to have the show so we can talk about the tea. And there's just so much drama this season, but I want to focus on one storyline in particular and get y'all take on it, right?
Okay.
So how would you feel if you brought your long-term partner on the show only to watch it back and find out they spent the entire 3-week trial marriage hooking up and falling in love with a total stranger? Because that's exactly what's happening with Mel and Marie. Let's put their picture up. Mel and Marie. So that's Mel in the blue, Marie's in the brown. Then you got Dana in the black, Megan in the green, and then there's also Haley who's involved. Okay.
They all look the same to me. Am I tripping? I'm like,
so I think this is gonna be so fun. Y'all gonna laugh at me. I feel like Dana and Marie, so the brown and black, favor each other a little bit, like they could be cousins.
Yeah.
And Marie is definitely Hispanic. I also thought Dana was Hispanic. That is a white woman.
Oh, okay.
That is a white woman. And I was like,
Little thick.
I didn't clock that.
Lil John, thick.
I didn't clock that. So, but before we dive into the mess, I just want to give y'all a quick backstory on the couples, right? So first you have, let's put their picture up there. You have Mel and Marie. Okay, so they've been together for 4 years and co-own a food truck in Orlando together, right? So Marie is 27. She gave the ultimatum, so she's the femme. She's ready for marriage and the family. Then Mel, who's also 27, isn't sure yet and feels like they need to figure some things out first. Their biggest challenge is balancing their busy work life with their relationship, right? And then you have Dana and Megan. Okay, so Dana is the femme. Dana's 25, Megan is 27, and they've been together for 1.5 years, which I don't think is long enough to be on a show like this, but I digress.
To give an ultimatum, girl.
1.5 years. We're strangers.
That's 6 years in lesbian time.
Barely.
Britt be standing on that, girl.
She do. So Dana was the one to give the ultimatum. She's ready to plan the future, but struggles with avoidant attachment style. Megan has an anxious attachment style and isn't ready to commit yet, especially with her family still struggling to accept her queerness. So Megan's family is very conservative and they're not loving that she is gay, basically, right? So in the recoupling ceremony, Mel and Dana chose each other as trial partners. Let's watch a little bit of their story.
I need you too much right now, and that worries me. I'm becoming too dependent on how you feel, and like we're literally sharing a brain cell at this point.
The last one that we both have.
I do sometimes worry we spend too much time together. Because even the times we could do things apart, we don't. If you have an errand, I want to go with you. So I just wonder if that would create too much codependency, which is something, I'm like working on.
Yeah. I don't think we spend
But
enough
I'm not
time
happy when we don't.
together.
You don't think we spend enough time together?
We could spend more
Together. This is our 2-week anniversary.
Oh.
1 more week, and then we literally won't speak. She's been my whole life and support system for 2 weeks. Literally, my world revolves around her every day. You guys know I've been close to very few people in my life. And with Mel, the way that I was able to get so close to her so fast is like still like mind blowing to me. And just talking about my emotions, you know, I hate that shit. So scary to think that she's just gonna be gone from me for the rest of the time, and I'm gonna need her
with your other safe places.
Yeah, but it's like what if-
Meanwhile, Dana's original partner, Megan, recoupled with Haley. Let's watch a little bit of their story on the show.
We took turns taking care of each other. And I feel like very like catered to. You're always like grabbing me water or like you waking up, making me breakfast. That's really nice. Really. Makes me feel very like special. You are very special. Thank you.
Went on like a date and we literally had like everything in common. The way that we do things is the same. The way that
everything we said, we'd be like, that's exactly how I
yeah, the way that we live, the way that we think, our perspective on stuff is just all so similar. And something in my gut was like, I know that this is what I need because I've never had this. It just was a game changer.
Megan did say that she would carry a child. Yeah. And that is one of my biggest things about not wanting a kid. You know, it definitely sweetens the deal. Megan has kind of shifted my perspective, and I don't want this to be misconstrued. Not that I think that Plar wouldn't be an equal partner, but like having someone who's also equally excited to have that journey with you, it makes it much less.
So as we can see, both trial couples have gotten very deep very fast within the first like couple episodes of the show. But technically, they're doing the experiment the way the show is designed. Trial marriage are meant to test new connections. But what happens when those connections become sexual?
Ooh.
Because both trial couples, Mel and Dana and Megan and Haley, hooked up during the experiment. Let's watch.
For me is the fact that we both have exes that we care about, but at the same time, it's like my feelings have grown for Dana. Now we're kind of just seeing like, okay, what does this mean? Dana has showed me that Murray could possibly not be the right person for me.
Should have seen it coming. Oh, look what you have done. Show me what you mean, cause I can hear what you say, but hold on. I hope you know that it's up to you. Don't need to know my name, I could be the perfect stranger. Let's have a night we don't remember. Feel me.
Haley and I hooking up, it was definitely more than just kissing. We hooked up all the way, and it's something that we don't regret.
Whoa.
Now, in the show, even while they're in trial marriages, they all do kind of meet up and engage with each other. So these couples hooking up, particularly Dana and Mel, did not stay secret for long. In fact, Haley is the one who told Mel's original partner, Marie, that her and Dana had been, you know, having sex. Let's watch.
I'm just not trusting where Dana and Mel are at.
Why?
I've heard things.
What have you heard?
Just like, I don't know. It's hard because like,
Just
I
say
feel
it.
like now we're like,
Just say it.
I've heard that they've like been much more romantically involved than they're like letting on. There's lots of receipts. Not from me.
Anything that anybody does is going to come to light, no matter who comes up to me. And she tells me that there's proof that you and Dana are fucking. I can only hear this shit from you. So I'm asking you, have you guys fucked? Are you lying?
Are you really saying no? That didn't happen?
I'm saying no.
So where is that coming from? Because I am so fucking triggered.
I don't talk to Haley. I don't know anything I don't know. And how would she know anything about any proof?
First of all, why the fuck
Hey,
would you lie?
I'm not done. There's more. There's more.
Oh,
We can clearly see by the clips, right, that she lied. Okay. And she didn't lie just that time, but she lied the second time once they were recoupled together back in their original, couple, basically. She told Marie that all they did was kiss, but we can tell that they did much more than kissing. Meanwhile, Megan and Haley were both very honest with their partners about what happened. Let's watch that.
Was it one time? It was not one time. Can I ask how many? Will that help the conversation? I mean, I wasn't like counting every time. Like, do you have an emotional connection with her?
What does that mean?
Do you love her? Haley and I hooked up.
What does hooked up mean?
Like, everything.
Are you serious?
And I feel like I developed feelings for Haley too. So it wasn't just sex. I'm in love with Haley.
bruh.
Now,
First of all, if I knew you was gonna break it down like this, girl, I wouldn't have wasted 3-4 hours. All right, you done gave us you done ran it down good.
I love you turn into a TV producer. But so the last 3 episodes dropped today, and I did watch them. So if you guys want to know what happens with the couples, I can tell y'all. Or
don't spoil it. Don't spoil
okay, I won't spoil it. So with that in mind, we don't know. I do know if Marie finds out the truth, right? But what do y'all think? Knowing the purpose of the show, would you be okay with your ex, right, hooking up with their trial partner while you're on national TV?
Oh, I feel so many ways. I'll let you
To the
start.
ultimatum, everybody fucking everybody. Hey, they messed up giving lesbians this type of opportunity. Okay, we're not the ones to experiment with this kind of stuff. All of our stuff is already sped through anyway. Y'all gonna give us a trial marriage? Of course, I'm in love. Like what? Hey, this show though, the concept in general, when I first heard about it, I was like, there's no way I would ever fucking go on a show like that.
Right.
Let's just be clear.
100%.
Me personally, I would never want
Never
to
in my
give
life.
somebody an ultimatum on TV, and you ain't giving me no goddamn ultimatum on no goddamn TV. We can handle shit at home. But
Okay.
but if I was on the show,
Okay.
yeah, you supposed to experiment.
So you would have been up there going to Pound Town if he was on the show?
if
Brett?
hypothetically, wait, what? I mean, that's what the experiment is for. I wouldn't do it.
Is it for people to be hooking up with
Hold
each other?
on, but look, if
No.
you all right, no,
time, bro, you got me here 3 weeks. Like that's like 3 months.
I actually agree. I mean, go ahead. So go ahead.
if you are saying this is your experiment wife,
Right?
Yes,
why?
let's really do it.
Right?
Let's really
Hold
do
up.
it.
So you're not gonna have sex with your wife?
Come on now. You're supposed to have sex with your wife. That's really wild if you don't.
Yeah.
I would be fully engaged because for one, I think it's more of like, I don't know, it is a very interesting experiment to where I do feel like why not fully engage in it to see what it really does? Because for one, it's not a traditional thing to even have to really go through. So it's like, why not be vulnerable and put myself, if I'm already coming on the show knowing that these kind of things will happen, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go all in, because if I wasn't gonna go all in, I wouldn't go on the show. So I feel
Right.
like me personally, I will fully engage in it. So
We
lesbians being on this kind of show, they done messed up. Of course they in love. I can't believe she's like, I'm in love. I'm in love is crazy, but I feel her. Cause she probably is in love off that coochie.
we all been in love after 3 weeks at
So
least one
quick.
time.
100%.
This is
As
dangerous for
as
lesbians.
lesbians, we have all quite literally been there.
This
But
show is
I do want
dangerous.
to say, like, to like what Britt was saying is like, I feel like the only way you would go on there is if like you really weren't sure,
Yeah.
Right.
because like my girl, like, first of all, like, I'm not gonna see you with nobody else. That's not okay.
Never.
And it's just like, I don't know. Even I think the part of being faithful in general, like, if you were very, even if you love your person, right? If you were very flirty, I think it opens up the gates to liking somebody else. I think you can love somebody and still find good, things in somebody else. And the
Mhm.
whole point of being faithful is not even to open up those doors, because once you do, who knows what's coming out
Yeah.
of it. And I
And
think that
they do all live in the same apartment building. They see each other like in the gym, at the pool, at the club. So like not only are you dating someone else, but you're dating somebody else, to your point, so in front of your technical ex. And
Yeah,
the whole
it's
point is
crazy
after the
concept.
3 weeks with your trial partner, you didn't do 3 weeks with
Go
your
back.
original partner to
Yeah.
decide if y'all want to get married.
It's a
and
really interesting concept. Like Netflix is crazy for creating this.
and it got weird to where some exes wouldn't even say hi to
Yeah,
their
that
to
was
their
I'm
girlfriend.
with my new girl. I'm with my new girl. I can't
Yeah,
talk to
and
my ex.
it
I
got weird. Like, is y'all
yeah.
beefing? Like, y'all know y'all came here
Yeah.
together.
That's my ex. I don't say hi to my ex. Fuck.
And that's kind of like some of their perspective. I mean, to y'all point, I just would never take my man on no show like that.
Never.
Please. I
Never.
don't even like that bitches can breathe the same air as my man half the time. We're
Period.
definitely not going on dating shows so we can play Ring Around the Rosie and the Pussies. We're not doing that.
No.
We're not doing that. But you know, to your point, so I think that when couples go on shows like this, it is to break up.
It gotta be.
But y'all didn't want no spoil it. Never mind, I can't say it.
No,
Don't
don't give no
But I
spoil.
do want to say one thing. Is like,
Boom.
also you're
Tomato,
making
tomato.
you're also like, even if y'all decide to be together, you're gonna have issues now, because a lot of those
Yeah.
people were like, even if we're not together, I want to be in your life forever.
And it never
What?
happens like that, right? Like it never happens like that. And what actually is very interesting to me though, there were a lot of people who did not participate in the way that these couples did.
Right.
And that annoyed me as a viewer. Because if you can't truly commit to the experiment, don't go
Don't
on the show,
come.
because that's not
Exactly.
entertaining to watch. We
Exactly.
had a particular this girl named Kyle. She's a she they, but Kyle, she went by she on the show. And she freaked out when her trial partner tried to kiss her. And she almost insinuated that she was like being sexually what's the word? Not
Assaulted?
basically like sexually assaulted her. Like basically she has
You're her wife.
They like went out to a club together. They went out to the club together. They were drunk.
You that
The
ass.
girl Polar tried to kiss her. She told her no, and then she tried to kiss her again, and she was like, "It made me really uncomfortable."
All right. She said no, though. She said no.
Right. So
No
she
means
said no, but it also made her uncomfortable because she didn't really want to
I get it.
act like a couple. You know what I mean? And
Then
and
don't go
also
on the show.
right, and there's the black couple that we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they kind of did, they were like seeing each other the entire time because they didn't get paired with like
Black
who-
love, man.
yeah,
Hey.
they didn't get paired with people that they were truly either attracted to, or like the person they got paired with wasn't really trying to like do what they were trying to do.
Yep.
So they ended up just sneaking around the whole time with each other because they wanted to be like a couple. So it's just kind of like, I feel like if you're gonna go on the show, you should commit to it 100%. But also, like, should you be bumping purses on the show? I don't know.
That's
Making
crazy.
out, kissing, maybe a little finger bang.
Yeah.
But like y'all rubbing
Yeah. If you're
Hey,
not in a good
on the
space in your-
show.
if you're not in a good space in your relationship, if you like on a vacation in a sense, you on Netflix, they taking care of you. You got a little reposado in you. I could literally
Reposado.
see I could literally see how they bumping coochies.
Brandy, don't ever take Brit on there, all right, Brandy?
Don't,
Don't ever
don't, don't,
Look,
and I bet not even make you feel like you gotta take me on no show.
100%.
Don't on
That-
both aspects.
that's another thing, but I would say what I thought was fucked up from the beginning is that nobody paired with Brittany, the
Left my
black
girl
femme,
out, man.
the black femme girl,
Get
and
y'all.
she was forced to be with a girl that actually wanted to be with her
Her
girl.
girlfriend.
That's
Listen,
so crazy,
And
right?
she didn't
I-
give femme for femme, so it really felt like damn. And she had a good sportsmanship about it, but that fucking sucked. Like,
yeah, I cussed my TikTok out about this morning because people were in my comments. So they have a theory that the only reason why her and AJ went on the show was to promote her company that she owns. And I was just like,
Do it.
I don't believe that. But people were in my comments like, well, she didn't make any real connections. I said, oh, so this is what we're going to do today? Do y'all really want to talk about how a dark-skinned black woman was ignored on a TV show because all of her other castmates and her options were white people, are people of color who only wanted to date other white people?
and she was very pretty, very kind, very sweet.
Body
I just felt like
no one chose her. No one
Yeah,
chose her.
and
And like
that's fucked up.
100% her race has to do with it. And I just feel like this show could work so much better if the producers, Netflix, listen to what I'm saying, the BADDIE galore, if the producers brought singles onto the show as well too, so that the dating pool is much wider, and bring some masculine black women on there, please.
Yeah.
it's crazy. And
Like they don't do a survey or like what your type is or anything to even just try to give you a
I
good
mean,
option.
they
Like
do a casting, and there are a lot of murmurs on TikTok that they were casting couples that were already broken up, including some of the ones that we saw.
okay.
And I mean, it's like we know our community, we know our culture. What is the likelihood of people who look like us to really go on a show and do that on national TV?
Oh, because when that girl was in the car, asking her, they fucked them. Hey, real quick, that would have been a fight. Anybody?
no, and then it's like, girl, you on camera, but
lying down.
But
ain't-
also,
man.
to their defense, I do want to acknowledge the fact that queer relationships are different. That some people are femme for femme, femme and stud. You know what I'm saying? So it did get confusing because the one couple kind of is like a femme, like femme.
Yeah,
femme.
Dana and
So,
not Dana and Pilar. Haley and Pilar are femme for femme.
so it's kind of like, it's kind of, it gets a little weird. Whereas if it was a straight couple, at least you would know there's this many men and this many females.
That's why they should bring in singles so that they have a wider dating pool. And I'm not saying have singles for the entire show, but for the week of dating that they do, in addition to the original couples that come in, have some singles that fit various types of queer so that people like Brittany can have more options, because everybody had options except for her.
I agree. I would have walked in there like, the fuck? All odds is against me. Like, I don't even want nobody in here.
I have always said I could never do a dating show, even if it was completely queer focused, because my type is so particular. I would get on there and be like, I don't like none of these niggas. So now what? Now what do we do?
They're gonna be like, all right, you can go pack your bag.
What happens then? What happens then? I am so strict over here. No.
Yeah, facts. There is one more thing I did want to address about the show. And it was even crazy because a lot of it was like, even like the masculine women, that a lot of them didn't want to get married because their parents didn't accept them being gay.
Yep.
And that really like made me hurt for them, because it's like, yo, I always live by like, don't be living within hell within yourself to make everybody around you feel like they're in fake heaven. You know what I'm saying? And it was sad to be like, I mean, if that's really the reason why you don't want to get married, anybody listening, like, your family will either come along or not. But if you're truly gay or in love, like, you gotta follow that. You know what I mean? Because your people even judging you to the extent that they won't even be there for you, like, they're not showing real love to me. You know what I mean? And it was just crazy to be like, that's hurtful that like so many people's parents don't accept them to the point that they don't talk to them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have
Yeah.
to agree with it, but damn, now I haven't seen my mom for years. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Crazy.
That's a
And
word.
I just want to encourage everybody, like, don't make your life decision off of like people that don't support it, unless they don't support it because they don't like your spouse, because like your spouse is crazy or done something to you. If it's
Right.
just because you're just gay, like, y'all gotta live life for yourself, for real.
That's
So,
why so many queer people have a chosen family, because
yup.
a lot of families don't love us back. I'm so grateful that my family has always loved me no matter what my sexuality is, but I realize that that is very much a privilege in our community.
It really
Yeah,
is.
facts. Nah,
Yeah.
facts.
All
Yeah.
right. Y'all ready to get into some lesbian Facebook drama that eventually found its way to TikTok?
Facebook
Come
drama be the
on.
best.
I'm not really clocked into Facebook drama that way, but I do like when it
Facebook
finds its way to
drama,
other social
girl,
media apps that I'm on.
it'd be crazy.
Okay, so a creator by the name of It's Just Tierra. Tierra is the one in the white. She is a stud. I believe she's an old school dyke.
She give it
Yeah.
done gave some time and everything. Don't fuck
Yeah.
with her.
She has been going viral for the past week after posting a 14-part story time on how she found out that her wife, her lovely former wife, pictured right there, of almost 5 years, was cheating on her with a male coworker. Now, her 14 videos were basically 10 minutes each. So I think it's quicker if I just recap it for y'all. But she did post a lot of receipts of the detective work she did to uncover her wife's affair that we'll watch together. All right.
Okay.
So let's get into this tea, because I've been waiting to tell y'all this. So Tierra met her wife Jessica on Facebook back in 2019 while they were both working night shifts. They quickly hit it off and started dating, but early on, Jessica admitted that she was still living with an ex who was using her financially. We all can relate as femmes, we definitely can. She didn't have consistent transportation and had nowhere else to stay. But despite these red flags, Tierra overlooked them because she saw potential in Jessica. First mistake, but we'll keep going. Over time, their relationship grew. Tierra would go out of her way to give Jessica rides across the city. She said that she would drive from the city that she worked in to the city that Jessica worked in, then take Jessica to the city that she lived in, and then drive back to the city that she lived in. So she would drive between 4 different cities on a weekly basis to make sure that her girl got home. You know, stud don't stud every time. You know what I'm
We
saying?
be holding this shit down.
Sometimes. Don't not too much.
All right, not too much.
Rippy get too excited.
Get too excited. And eventually, Jessica became a regular presence in Tierra's home, even spending weekend with Tierra and her kids. So Tierra had 2 daughters, and Jessica had 2 sons and 1 daughter. And they eventually got married and blended their family. The first major issue was with Jessica's son in the relationship, the first major issue, who repeatedly brought home people involved in criminal activity. So YNs is what Tierra said.
Get these YNs out of here.
She said he was a YN and he brought his YN friends to my house and it made me uncomfortable. So Tierra raised these concerns, but Jessica refused to discipline her son or tell her no. So after a year of arguing about it, Tierra packed her bags and briefly left in 2022, unwilling to be around this dangerous behavior. Jessica eventually did decide to handle it in the relationship, but the relationship became more toxic even after that because they started to just argue all the time. With Tierra admitting that she was verbally abusive towards her wife, Jessica. She would accuse Jessica of cheating and often said hurtful things just out of emotions, but she felt like she was just being honest at the time, but admit to now in 2025 that she probably could have handled that way better as she's gotten older. Jessica began to withhold affection and allegedly turned to alcohol to cope. They tried counseling, but it just made things worse. Things improved briefly when they moved into a new home in July of 2023, but old patterns resurfaced. During another argument, Tierra told Jessica she wanted a divorce, and Jessica stormed out of her job that she was working at the time on foot because, again, she does not have a car, and started drinking, eventually confessing that that was the moment she began to give up her marriage. So Jessica could confess to Tierra that was the moment she began to give up on her marriage because she asked her for a divorce, right? She also added that same day, while she was crying at work over their argument, that one of her male coworkers noticed. and began to console her and told her all the things she's been wanting to hear. Put the pin in that as we keep going, right? So this coworker did eventually become the man that Tierra later caught her cheating with, just to be clear.
Damn.
As the holidays rolled around, Tierra noticed Jessica pulling away even more, giving her thoughtless gifts, putting in no effort into family tradition. She did not cook Easter dinner at all.
She ain't cook on Easter?
Right. For a Black mama, we do Easter real big in the Black
Girl.
community. And she said she was not interested. And Tierra brought it to Jessica's attention, feeling like they weren't spending a lot of time together, and they decided to go out on weekly dates to kind of reconnect. But then Jessica started to prioritize watching her new granddaughter, who's about 4 months, over spending time with her wife, even though the granddaughter had a father who was very active and who could be watching her instead, right? So Jessica eventually asked Tierra for a break from the marriage, saying she was overwhelmed and needed time for herself. She told Tierra that she was going to go stay at a hotel in Atlanta. So they live in Georgia, but they live on like the outskirts of Georgia. So I think Atlanta's probably like 45 minutes to an hour from where they live. Don't quote me on that, but I know that they have to travel to get there. But going to Atlanta, she didn't want to tell Tierra where she was going or where she would be staying. Very suspicious.
Outside.
Okay. Outside. So because that was so suspicious, Tierra planted a AirTag in Jessica's car.
They beat them AirTags.
And then what is even more wild, Tierra basically spent the day with Jessica because, again, Jessica does not have a reliable car. It was very confusing. Sometimes Tierra drove her, sometimes she didn't. But after getting off of her night shift, and Jessica went to her hair appointment, her wax appointment, her nail appointment.
Okay, hold up, bitch, because where you going?
Tierra slept in the passenger seat of the car waiting for her to get all of her appointments done because, again, she was using her car. So she was quite literally physically there as Jessica was getting ready to go out on a date with the guy she was cheating with. She even recorded a video of herself complimenting her, telling her how pretty she looked, knowing deep down it was for someone else. Let's watch that, Britt.
Now we stressed out.
My heart hurt for her.
Yes, baby, I love it.
I can't be going to Atlanta and looking like anything now.
No, you can't. You look beautiful, though. I see you with that ring on.
Girl, when I found it, I said, God must have showed me a sign. I need to put this bitch on, but she have a heart attack. Asthma attack.
You looking good. I gotta give it to you. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Now, after this video, Tierra asked Jessica once again, can I come with you? She was worried about her driving on the interstate by herself. She didn't want her to be in Atlanta alone. Jessica had said, no, I want to have my alone time. And she went along her way. After she left, Tierra noticed that the red lingerie that Jessica had once claimed she bought for Tierra wasn't there.
Uh-oh.
And she never wore the lingerie, right? So she never wore the lingerie and it wasn't there.
Uh-oh.
So she using the first AirTag, right? Tierra follows Jessica to a Dollar Tree and puts a second AirTag in her purse using the spare key that she had to her car. Then Tierra gets her cousin's car, not wanting her car to be recognizable, and drives to Atlanta, where Jessica is staying at the hotel, right? She waits until she gets there. Jessica texts her like, I made it, babe. Love you. I'm going to have a good time. And then Tierra got into her cousin's car. She said she had to pump it up the highway because the car was a little broke down, and followed her to the hotel in Atlanta. When she got to the hotel, she again used that spare key to look through her car, Jessica's car, where she found Jessica's wedding rings, tags from new clothes she had bought that she was not wearing in that video, alcohol, and even her panties that she left on the driver's seat. Britt, let's watch that video real quick.
All right, y'all, I'm up here. I'm in her car. Get some drinking. She got some panties on the seat. Hang with his clothes, though, so I don't know what's going on with her. She's got some panties on the seat. Like she got a bag from the liquor store. I'm up here at the Hot House Hotel. That's our car for sure. Make sure this light go out. That's her pump for show, man. I'm waiting on her. I can't believe this shit, man. I can't believe this shit right here.
So after going through the car and seeing the evidence, Tiara was determined to catch Jessica cheating. But she didn't want to miss her coming out the hotel with who she was cheating with. So she stayed awake for 10 hours in the car waiting for her to come out. And when she did come out, she saw Jessica with the coworker who was a man. Now, Tiara said she thought if she was going to cheat on her with anyone, it would be another woman. So she was genuinely surprised that she had cheated on her with a man. Then she finds out that not only is this male coworker married to someone else, right? But he's also sleeping with other women at their job that him and Jessica work at.
Look at
And Jessica had been secretly buying him gifts and getting them delivered to the home that she shares with Tiara. And when Tiara caught her, she acted like the gifts were for her.
I hate people.
This show give me a headache.
So now she did not confront her at the hotel. She said that she prayed to God many times before Jessica worked out because she had too much to lose and Jessica didn't have anything to lose. So she didn't confront her at the hotel. But when they both got back home separately, because Jessica did not know at that time that she was being followed, she did ask her about it. Jessica showed no remorse and told Tiara she deserved it because of all the verbal abuse she endured earlier in their marriage. They eventually agreed to separate and then divorce when their lease was up in July. But shortly after, Jessica texted Tiara saying she didn't want to break up and still loved her. Now, Tiara doesn't respond to this text message and they never talk about it again, right? Like they never acknowledge that she sent her this long text message asking her to work it out. Then a few weeks after that, Tiara caught her lying again about going out with a friend who she had never heard of, which confirmed that Jessica was still very much cheating with the male coworker. Then on another night, Jessica tried to gaslight her. No, I'm sorry. Then on another night, Jessica said she was going out with her sister on like a random Monday, which Tiara did not believe. So she put a more advanced tracker in her car.
Advanced.
Right.
Another hotel, but this time decided to confront her, called her and said, come outside. Open the door, come outside. And she said that when she opened the door, Jessica was in lingerie. There was alcohol bottles in the back in the hotel room. The mood was set. And it was like one of those day ends where like the hotels are on the outside of the building, the doors are. So she literally just walked up to the door and she opened it in lingerie. Okay. But this time things escalated.
What
and
happened?
even though Tiara didn't give full details, based on my context clues, because Jessica definitely, she threatened to call 911. What she really did was call the guy and tell him not to show up because Tiara had showed up. And then she like ran away from her and was basically just like, I don't want to be with you. I hate you. I want to divorce. I don't love you anymore. And Tiara said she lost her mind and went crazy and blacked out. Blacked out in the sense of that things turned physical. And Tiara fled the scene before police arrived. So after that, Jessica tried to move her belongings out in pieces. She asked Tiara, like, hey, like, can I come get things for myself, my daughter, and my granddaughter? We don't have anything. She said, okay, but then they were going back and forth outside of her house. So Tiara ended up changing the locks. Let's watch that video. And this video of Jessica trying to get into their house is the video that had Tiara's story go viral on Facebook. Let's watch that real quick.
She's showing down up. She's showing bum. Can't get in that bitch. She's showing up.
So Tiara told Jessica, you can come one time with a U-Haul, get all your shit, and be gone. When she came, Jessica apologized and said she didn't mean this for it to happen. She still loved her, wanted to work things out, but Tierra was done. Since all of this, Jessica has shown up to Tierra's house drunk. She stopped paying a light bill that was in her name that was attached to the house, and is refusing to sign the divorce papers. Now, Tierra did eventually get arrested for battery for what happened at the hotel, but Jessica refused to cooperate with the police or file a restraining order against her. So she wasn't held for long and has since been sharing her story across multiple social media platforms. Now, this situation is a little sticky because regardless of the cheating, it ultimately resulted in domestic violence. But what are our thoughts?
First of all, I want to say this is just a typical love hood story. All right.
It was very triggering, I'll tell you that. I've been there before.
And another thing I want to say is if somebody's telling you they're going on a solo trip to Atlanta, they lying, sis. They not coming here for their peace. I just want to be clear.
That is funny.
Before we actually started, we was talking about doing solo trips. Atlanta ain't one of those.
It ain't one. It ain't no retreat, you know.
It ain't. Let me get my mind together. Like, first of all,
I'm fucking crying.
Man, well, one thing I would say, y'all know my birthday just passed, so that just means I became a little wiser. And one thing I have realized is
not 3 days you wiser than 3 days. Her birthday, like I became wiser. Like 4 days ago.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I was just trying to, I mean, put in cancer season real quick. But if you have to put air tags, it's already given toxic.
It's a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? I never like heard somebody do something like that and it'd be like, oh, nothing's wrong. My bad, I'm tripping. Like, cause now you're tripping. You're tripping for putting air tags in somebody's shit. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't even know where to start. I just want to start with like Atlanta's not a solo trip, and
it's giving cap.
Yeah, and it's just given like it's sad to say, but this is sound like some regular toxic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it sounds like they should have broke up a long time ago.
Yeah, and I'm not for domestic violence, but I do feel like sometimes you need a. I ain't gonna say it. But sometimes, my bitch, why'd you playing with me?
Not funny. That's not funny. We're not laughing at that.
No, it's not funny. I think it's funny because we all done probably been there before.
Yeah.
And somebody would drive you crazy by playing games with
you.
You know what
in your face, 100%.
And that's the thing that drive you crazy. Because it's one thing of saying like no, I don't love you and I want to keep going. But I think you were saying like then she would come back and then, like, yeah, and that's when it's like we all been at that point where like we feel like we're very much sane, but somebody can make you feel like you're going crazy, bro.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it can really take you out of like who you really are. And I think we all been there, and that's why I'm like, bro, like I'm not saying domestic violence is right at all,
of course,
but I have been at points like, bitch, why'd you playing with me like this now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like if someone gets you to a point where you want to get physical with them, that's when you know you need to separate yourself from that situation because they are not thinking the best of you because they're pushing you to the edge.
Facts.
And anyone who loves you will not push you to the brink of like physically hurting them.
That's
and that's not me victim blaming. That's just me like as the individual who's getting triggered so deeply, you have to identify like this is not a safe space for me. This is not the person for me. So let me remove myself before, like Tierra said, I lose everything. Like I don't want to say got away with it, but like her ex-wife refused to testify. She refused to cooperate. She didn't want to.
That's an average hood story. Yeah. Like I'm gonna put you in jail, but bitch, I ain't gonna keep you there. I might even bail your ass out.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Toxic.
And I do want to know what our viewers think. Like, what do y'all think about this relationship? Like, I don't know, but there was something you said that triggered me that I didn't even remember I went through this. But when you just said it, no. when you said something about like giving pointless gifts or something. You said?
Yeah, so Tiara said that something that changed behavior that she noticed that was for Christmas. She gave her gifts that just did not make sense for who she was.
So let me tell you
Mhm.
what my ex, I could tell like we was like going downhill, right? And I could just tell it was getting weird. And it was Christmas, bro.
Mm.
She gave me slippers that was like a size 10. They were huge. And she gave
Oh,
me big ass
I wear a
pajamas.
size 10.
Okay. And men?
Oh no.
I'm about to
What?
say some things you should keep to
God
yourself.
damn.
Some
Right.
things you shouldn't say out loud.
Right.
You know?
No, but I don't know what size they were. They just were huge. And like she gave me pajamas that were just huge. And I
Yeah.
just felt like
Bitch, who this for?
yeah, and I just felt like there's no way like you even like you just got me something just to say you got it or something. But like
No,
it just made me feel so like there's no way you was thinking about
it
me. And
actually
now it might have been for oh boy, I don't know, because she did cheat on me with a man.
no, do y'all remember when there was that like probably a year or two ago, there was that like couples challenge on TikTok where it was like you go to the store and you buy your partner like what's their you buy them a candy, you buy them something from the men's like it's like you go to
I
Target
think
and
I
you buy
remember.
things from different sections.
Yeah, I think I
Like
remember.
I was dating somebody a couple years ago and we did that, and everything she bought me was a miss. And I sat there
Damn.
and I said to myself, we've been dating for almost 6 months and you don't know how
Ooh,
to
I want
shop
to
for
do
me.
that. I
And
want to
I
do
was like, oh, like either you don't care about me or this relationship is not as good as I think it is. Like there's something that's happening here. And I quite literally from there, it went downhill. That
No,
was like
for
such a
real.
sign because very simple things of like knowing what type of candy somebody likes or like getting an intentional gift for them makes a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, that's a fact. So yeah, I just would say just in general, uh right when you step out on a relationship, you make it's worse. So before you step out, make sure like, hey, you don't want this. You can't be back and forth. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be bad. And if you have to follow somebody and shit, it's already bad. Your mental is already gone. You know what I'm saying? And I get there's gray areas. I mean,
Yeah.
I get sometimes you gotta investigate. I ain't gonna be like I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like realize that that's already not healthy if you already feel like you gotta do
I want to know what our resident
I agree.
toxic said thinks.
that.
Oh, I thought she's talking about me.
It was.
This story is triggering. Okay, let me tell you
Yeah.
something because I have been like my girl Tierra, where like
Mm.
My
you get
girl
that,
Tierra is crazy.
you get that intuition. Like when you get that intuition,
Yeah.
you know you be knowing it, but you just something like that love is blind. It make you still have a little hope. Like nah, maybe I'm tripping. So
Yeah.
That's what I'm
sometimes when
saying.
it comes to like needing that proof, you do crazy shit like start tracking people and stuff. Because I literally did that with one of my exes. Like it wasn't given that she was telling the truth about where she was at. She was using my
Mm.
car. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like so. I did track her. I had her location, which is you're just sloppy with your cheating. I tracked her location, and the one time she was with Bow Wow, and I tried to be, very
Bow wow.
optimistic that
Wait.
yes,
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
yes,
Hold on. Hold on. Hold
yes.
on. Hold on.
Girl,
Hold on. Not to get off track, but can I just get like a very quick breakdown of what was happening here? Like
welcome to
Welcome to
Atlanta.
she quite literally
Atlanta.
was with Bow Wow, the rapper.
Yeah,
Yes.
so she
Like
was a
Bow Wow Wow,
dancer.
like Mike the rapper.
Yeah, Shad Moss. Yeah.
Cheating with him?
She had me beefing with Bow Wow. I never met this man in my
That
life.
is
I
correct.
I literally was
But
like, I
your
hate that
lore
nigga.
goes so deep, I swear to
I,
God.
I literally was like, I hate Bow Wow. Like, I can't stand this dude. Like,
I
so
hate Bow Wow. It's
I hate Bow
crazy,
Wow.
bro.
Like, he's not one of
Cheating
my.
with Bow Wow is so.
It's so crazy. It's so Atlanta-ish. Like, it's
It is.
Like,
so she
can you
was.
even be mad when stuff like that happens?
I mean, so where we were
Obviously, but
at,
Mad?
like,
where we were at together in our relationship, we were already super downhill. And
yeah,
around this time, like I said, she just started. I guess she felt like she just didn't care and was just gonna like, she wasn't trying to hide like if she was doing something sneaky. You know what I'm saying? So
So why
she was
not
a
just
she was a
why she just
dancer.
break up with you then?
Girl, she was
They
a
never
dancer.
do.
She was a dancer and she claimed that she was doing a music video for Bow Wow or whatever.
Oh. And the
And
music video was just the two of them.
it came up they was hanging out, you feel me? Then she did it again where she went to go she had my car, I was tracking her. She was at this lounge out here in Atlanta. My friend worked at the lounge. My friend texted me, "Hey, she is here. What is she doing with this person?" Meanwhile, she got my car. You get what I'm saying? But I already had intuition before that she was cheating on me. But
Right.
when I would bring it to her, she would make it seem like I was crazy, like I was tripping. Oh, you're really tracking me? What do you mean? What you was looking at my location? I'm about to turn my location off so you can't follow me no more because why are you even tracking me? You don't trust me. You know your friends don't like me. Of course they're gonna make it out to be more than what it is. And it came to
Now
be
she blamed
everything.
your friends.
And yo,
It came out to be it was everything that I knew it was. The bitch was cheating. And it
Yeah.
wasn't just no platonic shit. You wasn't just in a music video and you weren't trying to get hired by this person who she was with at this
Where's the
lounge.
music video?
Right. Still ain't saying to this day.
Oh,
So like I agree with eXeL. Like when you get to that point where you gotta like track people and go
Yeah.
out of your way to where you're losing your peace of mind and going crazy about this shit, like it ain't even worth it. And I
Yep.
think that a lot of people be holding on to it, especially like married is different, right? I'm not married yet, but I can only imagine if somebody really got married with the intention of that's my partner for the rest of my life,
Right.
then some people put up with certain shit
For
that
so long.
you know what I'm saying? So I can't really say that as a person who's not married yet, but I do think like when you get to that point to where you got to track people and you just feel like they lying and it's
Air
just
tags is crazy.
air tags is crazy, bro.
Air
Like
tags, using one air tag to go put another air tag in somebody's purse is
next
crazy.
level
I
trackers.
understand it. Like I could tell from like watching the videos that she was like very emotional, like really loved her
Yeah.
wife and wanted to work things out, and that's very unfortunate. But
Yep.
like y'all are saying, when you get to that point, you gotta just call audible and be like, this ain't for me.
No, for real.
yo. And Britt,
I'll
off
tell my
of
girl
what you were
Tierra.
saying, like Atlanta is different. Like when I
Yeah.
first moved down here, like I was dating a dancer too. And the crazy thing
Also,
is
we
I
all
heard,
just did the dancers.
yeah, it was some
Yeah.
new
It's
Atlanta
like
shit.
something you gotta do when you live in Atlanta. You gotta date at
And
least one or
let
two
me let
Please.
me
dancers.
tell you, I don't even think I ever mentioned this. One time she was bragging to me that Chingy was trying to holler at her. Chingy. All right. And then she one of her regulars in the club was Jay Holiday. Like
You need
Put
to
you
step
to
it up a
bed,
little bit on these
bed,
options.
like
bed.
it's weird out here. That's why I said she ain't kind of relaxing in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, sometimes we gotta protect our peace of mind. If somebody make you feel like you gotta do that, regardless of what they're doing, you're not in like this ain't good for you.
You're not
You
in
know
a
what
safe
I'm
space.
saying? Yeah. So y'all, the
Going to
wise
jail and
me,
shit.
Oh,
Hell
here we
no.
go.
the
What she say?
wise me would just say, it it just gets darker and darker, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually
Learn from this experience, people who are hearing this story.
I usually go to bat for my fem sisters, but not the bisexual
Look, you
ones.
can't
Don't
even
have
say it
me.
straight.
Yeah,
Look, she's so
better.
Right.
flustered. She's so flustered she couldn't even say it
I
straight.
can't I can't
Because it's
defend
right.
I can't defend you on this one, especially the bisexual ones. I'm so sorry.
Come on, man.
They're probably gonna be in my comments like, Patty Glory, don't say that. You're bisexual. You know they think I'm bisexual.
You are.
Not.
I'm playing.
I'm
Nah.
not.
Oh, talk about bisexual. I do want to say that the comments from last episode with Chrissy and stuff, everybody was saying she was fighting for her baby. And I wanted to say that I even said on the show, I didn't know her personal circumstance. I
Yeah.
just can't see myself stop fighting for
They
my
did say
child.
that.
And I do want to say that I said on the show, I don't know their particular circumstance, but I just can't see how I would stop fighting for my baby. But I know it happens all the time, especially with
Yeah.
dads and baby moms. That baby moms really push them so far that they kind of just give up. But I just want to address that real quick. But
Not talking about bisexual. That's funny.
yeah.
Right. I was like, yeah, how we get there, but bisexuals makes sense.
Chrissy, because Chrissy was that's the topic
Bisexual
was yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have a serious conversation. You know, we always in an episode with a serious conversation.
Here we go.
We need eXeL and her wisdom of 3 days of being a year older.
Yeah, I got y'all.
So I saw T-Pain, of all people, having this conversation with, to what seemed to me, other straight men on this podcast called Crash Dummies. And while they actually did a great job talking about it, I just feel like we as Black lesbians are just a little bit more qualified to talk about the conversation. But how do we feel, or do we feel like white masculine lesbians can call themselves studs? Let's watch the clip first, and then let's get into it. Play it for me, Britt.
What's your biggest hot take?
That the white girls can't be studs.
Okay. Not gonna lie to you. All right. Oh my God.
How do we approach this?
What we as Black people consider a stud. He might be right.
He might be right. Yeah, he might be right.
Every time you see a white girl that's a stud, you call her a butch, though, right?
Well, okay, I will say that white women that are considered studs, they kind of dress more like Conan O'Brien than they do like old school Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
three-piece suits.
Yeah, it's more like
no.
I
don't
know
if I know any white studs.
I'm hosting like a night show or something like that.
I know a bunch of white lesbians that are the dude in their relationship.
Yes, I do know that too.
Studs.
To be a stud, like they have an elite club. Like you gotta have some credentials to be considered a stud.
They're like wrestlers.
Yes.
They're like wrestlers. They got stage names and shit. It's good.
Studs are, I think, to be a stud, you have to be from the inner city, though.
I think that's why.
Oh, you can't be a suburban stud?
No, I don't think you can be a suburban stud. I think in the suburbs, you just like girls.
Yeah.
Yo.
Now,
funny.
That shit is hilarious.
I know Pride Month is over, but let's have a quick history lesson, right? The term stud originated within Black lesbian communities in the United States, particularly in urban inner city environments around the early to mid 20th century. And while it's difficult to pinpoint an exact year, the use of the term became more widely recognized by the 1970s and 1980s. As Black lesbians began carving out their own cultural and social identities distinct from the predominantly white queer spaces of the time. It's a label that holds weight and that carries cultural meaning. That comes from Black lesbians carving out language to describe themselves in a world where they often are invisible. It's not really just a word, it's a lineage for us. It's tied to Blackness in a way that can't really be separated or repackaged to fit anybody who just wants to use it. And people who use the term studs typically reject the label butch because butch was widely associated with like white lesbians, like they said in the podcast episode. And it didn't fully represent the Black experience or the ways masculinity was embodied within Black culture. The term also became a part of Black vernacular in community building, existing alongside other identities like femme and AG, which is aggressive, particularly in regions like the East Coast, Midwest, and the South. But let's really sit with this. What happens when white masculine lesbians try to claim the label? Is it just about how someone looks, or is it about where the word comes from and who it's built for? Because some white lesbians do or might feel connected to stud culture or Blackness because of shared experiences with masculinity, queerness, and maybe even community overlap. She might dress like a stud, move in the same social spaces as other Black studs, or even date exclusively Black femmes. But does that mean that someone outside of the cultural experience can really step into the word without erasing what it means to the people who created it?
Erasing is crazy. I was laughing because they said the Conor O'Brien. That is so funny because the people from the Ultimatum, they was dressed like him on the Ultimatum. So that's why I'm laughing my ass off because that's so true.
Kyle was definitely dressed like that the entire time.
That shit hilarious.
AJ a little bit too. Horrible outfits. Horrible.
I saw that clip going around. And I did think, I was definitely like, did they mean to call them with this question? Because, it was a weird question for that group of fellow cisgender straight men over there asking them about stud shit. But me personally, all right, I'm just not the super labely making sure we own this word person.
The hands for me.
So even for me, I used to call white dominant women studs, and then somebody told me like, no, they can't be studs. They considered butch. And then I'm like, oh shit, my bad. But I call white people nigga too. So when it comes to like the whole
that took a hard left right there.
when it comes to like calling
I was
them
behind
studs,
you.
Spit my water out.
I call Asian
just got
niggas.
so stressed out. Oh my
Bruh,
god.
Asian niggas, Japanese niggas, white niggas, everybody's a nigga to me. Now you can't say that to me. You feel
Right,
me?
correct.
But I call you a nigga, you feel me? But to me, I get why people I just don't I'm not a label person, bro. I don't know what else
We
to say. I'm not
know.
I could care less. Like butch, stud, like I don't care.
I love the word dyke.
I just could personally not care. I do think it was a weird conversation for them to have, and if anybody like they hold the way people see studs, like you see how they like giggling in the beginning, like men just like stud the word stud. Like when I be around straight dudes, if you do say stud, they do laugh ASAP. I don't know why the word stud is just like it tickles them, but like men really get like like stud, like but. I think they were not the right people to ask that question to, but because even what they were saying was just funny. Like you got to be from the inner city to be considered a stud.
That was strange to me. I didn't
Like,
really
where
understand
did
that.
these fucking rules
I think
come
they were
from?
just joking though.
Yeah, no, it was really funny. Then the stage name had me weak because we say your stud name, but now I'm about to start saying your stage name
No, but
versus your real
why are there
name.
always nicknames?
I mean, that's just what it is.
Because eXeL, what does that mean?
Oh, why she call you out?
Yeah, eXeL means extra large because I'm a big deal and I will excel in this shit.
I
Sure.
thought that was going somewhere different, but I like that.
Yeah, that's why it's a little e and two extra large, XL
Very
in
cute.
capital letters. But I'm gonna say this, man. Like first of all, I'm Puerto Rican, but I do feel like Puerto Ricans and like black and brown people, like we grow up in the hood. It'd be like I never seen nobody like I always considered myself a stud, and it never was nothing other than that, right?
Yeah.
But not until recently on the No Homo show did I realize like stud was actually like a black like term, and but I'm gonna say this, y'all. Can we please fucking choose our battles? Like, dude, this really even matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree. Like
some people are just too woke for me, and it's fucking annoying. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't even see like I can admit like when I look at like a masculine white person, I might not be like they're a stud, but I instantly don't think you're a butch unless like you're very manly. Like that's where I get butch from, not just like a white, masculine woman. But it's just annoying how much within the gay community we worry about fucking labels. Yeah, like it's so weird, and there's just some things that like who like do black people necessarily like want to own it? Like, is that like
I mean, for some people, they're very passionate about it, and like a lot of people hate the word dyke, and I love it. Oh, I love it so much. But I just feel like if someone's like trying to brand themselves as a stud, like that would be like too much. Like, don't make a brand out of being a white stud. But like, if you're at a club, like if you're at one of our lesbian parties, our black lesbian parties, and you're dressed like BRITT or eXeL, I'm like, oh, look at that white stud over there. Like, it's not going to be like I don't think it's like a derogatory term. It's almost like Britt said, like when we say nigga, we can say nigga and we can call other people niggas, but you can't call yourself nigga. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
I think that the older queers who this was a part of their identity and their empowerment and like separation from whiteness, I understand the power that it has and the history that it has. And I think that has been seen as less serious as the years have gone on. So I think it's really a generational thing. Like,
but it's like division within division. Like now, like I don't know.
Yeah, but I also don't believe in interracial relationships. So I don't need to see white studs in our clubs and parties. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, that is a really good point. I know that there are people that really went to bat for us to have certain things and to live in our truth. A lot of people paved the way for us to be how we are now. And I do think that be some of their frustration with how we move because we don't know what they had to go through to be themselves. And yet we're out here so freely and we're dressing like we are and we're being stud for stud, and we're being sassy, and we're being white studs, and they're like, no, 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 this ain't how it go. You know what I'm saying? But I do think, like you said, it's generational. So that's why maybe for me too is also like, but maybe somebody that's older than me would be like, nah, bitch, like we had to. That's our shit,
right?
We need a gay textbook with
we
the gay
do. We
history.
need a
All right,
gay
'cause we don't
history
know our
historian.
history, y'all.
We don't.
Yeah, but I will say though, and this is just like me personally, I am more strict about like people within like the Black lesbian community calling themselves studs who aren't studs. Like if you're a stem, call yourself a stem.
True.
And that's crazy
If
too.
you're a stem,
Why the fuck you care?
because I care.
Period.
Because my thing is just like it's almost the same thing as like when bisexuals call themselves lesbians when they're not really lesbians. Like there are just, to me, there are just too many labels if you're into labels, right? Because not everybody's into labels.
Exactly. I'm not
right?
into labels.
But if you are into labels, there are too many labels for you to be using the wrong one. Pick up the right can. The label's right there.
I feel that.
I feel you.
Because there's sassy studs, right? Don't love a sassy stud. I don't want to be with a sassy stud. You know what I mean? That's not my type. Like I just need like a regular stud. I need a dyke stud, like a stud with the middle name Dyke in there. That's what I'm going for. So I'm a little strict over here. You know what I mean?
Strict.
We see. We see.
Now we see.
But
Yeah, we
have been saying on TikTok that stems have better dick than studs, and I might have to agree. Not my man though, but the rest of them.
You better clear that shit up right
Okay,
then and
real
there.
quick.
Hey, I always say, you know, I know the film slang that dick, so I can only imagine that the stems are slanging that dick. Yeah. I know films be killing it. I done seen some films pelvic go so crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, you be hitting that shit crazy.
Well, granted, if they had it in their lifetime, they might know a little bit more.
Exactly.
I hate it.
The
I
studs
hate it.
probably just thinking boom, 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 pound it, pound it. A stem film might had it. They sell probably know how to do it a little bit better. So I could see that.
If a stud asked me to strap them, I would projectile vomit on them. Like, oh, I would be so disgusted. Like, who the fuck is you talking to? Like, you can't be talking to me. No.
And it's crazy because we realize, especially with the no homo show, like there's really somebody for everybody, you know, and people are very different. You know, even like a stud, like there are some that want that. There's some that want to be very dominant, some that want to be touched not. And there's a woman that would be happy to take the stud down.
Aggressive femmes are very much a real thing, and they want a stud who will be willing to let them strap like real bad.
They out here.
And they've even tried to talk to me. I said, sister, it can't be me.
They tried to talk to me too, girl. I said, no.
It can't be me.
Yeah.
No,
I cannot be tribute. Pick somebody else.
Yeah.
But like, there's someone for everyone. But back to the topic, you know, I do think that like there is a lot of history behind the word that we do have to respect. But I don't think it's as deep as some of the other battles that our community face.
Right. And we got to choose what
not
we
right
want
now.
to fight for.
Like, not right now.
Like we might be losing our rights soon. If you can call yourself a stud, while you can call yourself a stud, please call yourself.
We need as many studs as we can get right now. We need to rally up and troop because they are acting crazy out here.
Okay, for sure.
For
yeah, man.
We're gonna need the bisexuals too. Everybody, come on, man.
Alphabet,
LGBTQIA plus, right? It's LGBTQIA plus. Everybody come together. Let's get this shit together and get it right.
Yeah.
Cut all that segregation out. I'm tired of it.
Oh my God.
I think GALORE want to keep the bisexual women out.
Look, she.
Because the thing is, when it gets sticky, they're gonna be like, I like men, I'm good. I like men. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. That's how they're gonna act. I'm telling you, when it gets sticky and we start losing rights, all of a sudden they like men the entire time.
Damn.
Man, don't do them like that.
It's getting sticky. Well, I gotta choose. Do I gotta choose the side? I mean, I ain't bisexual.
No.
Whoa! What's going on?
I'm bisexual, but where am I trying to go with this? The rights get taken away.
Where am I trying to go with it? I was wondering too.
I gotta catch it. I gotta reel it back in.
That ain't come out correct, and I don't even know how to control it. So let's just go past it. I don't know how to bring that back around. I don't know what I was trying to say, y'all.
Yeah, hey, bro, it's a safe place, bro.
Hey, I thought I was about to eat that metaphor up. I went nowhere.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. That is so funny to me.
I was so confused.
I had to keep it 100, like y'all. I don't actually know what I'm talking about? Let me just stop right here because I'm not even about that.
If there's something you want to tell us, we down.
I
to
have
listen.
nothing. That's the thing. I don't know where that came from. I just really don't know where that came from. I don't know.
Oh my God. Well, before we head out, I do want to say we just dropped the episode of the No Homo show with Ashley, Miss Pat's daughter. If y'all know,
I saw that.
If y'all know
Crazy.
comedian Miss Pat, her a lot of her jokes come from like her gay daughter, and her gay daughter like being gay from like
She came out the coochie.
yeah, being breastfed and just like her coming out story and all that. And on the more serious side, Miss Pat was 12 when she had her or pregnant with her, and her dad was like 21. So she talks about that whole story, the crazy dynamic, the abuse, and just where they're at now, like coming from. Her mom was selling crack outside of her school. And she wrote her mom a letter like, "Can you please stop selling crack? I see you." Miss Pat was selling crack outside of Ashley's elementary school.
She was selling crack.
Yeah, and Ashley wrote her a letter like, "Mom, we can see you outside the window." And Miss Pat said, "Bitch, I was here first."
Right.
Oh
No,
my
it's
God.
a very interesting just situation in general because I've met Miss. Well, I didn't meet her first, but I heard her comedy before I realized that Ashley was her daughter. So I would hear Miss Pat say, "I got shot in the head. I had a baby when I was 12. I was selling crack outside my daughter's school." And then to get the daughter's perception, where it's like she's the one that was affected by all that, it's a really good episode. So yeah, definitely tune in.
Yeah, and it's on our Patreon right now, patreon.com/the No Homo show. And you become a member, you get behind the scenes, you get all our episodes first. And also Jazz Anderson's episode, I believe, just dropped on YouTube. So
she about to come stress y'all out.
Yeah, the clips keep backing me up.
No, Jazz Anderson, and we just dropped the episode on YouTube with Leah. She's the sex educator. So y'all, we out here educating the gay community. All right. So we just out here trying to, and next week we got Glamazante, and we asked her every fucking thing. So all y'all that want to know everything about her and who she's dealing with and all that, trust we asked that too. And yeah, also this weekend we're in Boston. We're in Boston, right?
Shout out
Yeah.
to Boston.
Yeah.
Look. So book, we don't even know where we at. Where we at?
The tour continues.
Oh, we didn't even say shout out to Denver. We definitely did not thank them. We just got back from Denver, Colorado. So big ups to Denver, the Pearl out there. It was an amazing time. The vibes, the energy, immaculate. And the Pearl is fairly new in Denver. So if y'all ever happen to be in Denver, go check them out.
Yeah. So we've been on the go for sure, but we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please leave y'all comments because y'all know we all got different perspectives for sure. Oh God, Britt,
I gotta call like my little sister. I want to do it how the YNs do it. They use different fingers. They don't do this. They said this is corny. So I gotta figure out what the
but you said this last episode. You had 2 weeks to figure it out.
I still didn't figure it out.
Wrap it up.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know it's the queer agenda.
We'll see y'all next time.